Rotary Club welcomes you to the 1994 Montgomery County All-Star.
Back in 1968, people got their heads together and they developed what they call the Montgomery County All-Star football game. That first one in 1968 was played at Roosevelt Field in Norristown before a packed house, like 11,000 people. The South came back and they won it 29-28 in just a thrilling ball game. I had the pleasure of being there that night. And one of the visitors on the board, they're wearing the gold jerseys with the blue numerals. At the tight end, Kevin Merhard. Kevin's 6'6", 195. He's from Upper Marion High School. Andy Guarini will be the left tackle. Andy's 6'2", 265 pounds, from Kennedy Kenrick. Michael Fabrizio will be the starting left guard. He's 6'3", 250 from Upper Marion. Steve Lepak will snap the football. He's 5'11", 250 pounds, from Kennedy Kenrick. From Plymouth Whitemarsh, the right guard is Alex Peterson, 5'10", 195. The right tackle is Joe Leone, 6'1", 255 from Upper Marion. And the wideout is Larry Leith. Larry's 5'10", 170 from Germantown Academy. Michael Fitzgerald will take the snaps from center. He's from Jenkintown, 5'11", 170. The running backs are Mark Washington along with Matt Matheson from Plymouth Whitemarsh, and Don Sajak will be the fullback from Kennedy Kenrick. We'll be back with more in the press box by 4 of the young people from Upper Dublin High School, and we certainly thank them. Let me finish the starting offensive lineup for the South. Michael Fitzgerald from Jenkintown will be the quarterback. Mike is 5'11", 170. Mark Washington, one of the running backs out of Plymouth Whitemarsh, and he's a good one, 5'9", 175. Matt Matheson, a teammate of his, 5'10", 180 from PW. And Don Sajak will round out that starting offensive backfield from Kennedy Kenrick, 5'9", 190. Good size unit, George, from the South.
The South is always big, Jim. As long as I remember this football game, they've always been a big, talented football team. And with a guy like Mark Washington out there, it can break open at any time.
Well, let's take a look at the North. Drew Dara. Drew's not used to working with this kind of size. Listen to this. Keith Bussum. He's from Souderton. He'll be the tight end, 6'3", 185. But here we go. Ed Schnell from North Penn High School. He'll sport the number 51. He's 6'4", 255 pounds. He'll be the left tackle. The left guard from Lansdale Catholic is Mike Dungan. Mike 6'1", 220. Snapping the football, he's from Norristown High School, Mark Milkey. Mark is 6'1", 290. The right guard is Kevin Landis from Souderton, 6 foot even, 195-pounder. Pat Roddy, the offensive right tackle, 6'6". I think he's like 6'8", 305 from Lansdale Catholic. The wideout from Wissahickon, Ryan O'Malley. Ryan 6'4", 180 pounds. The quarterback, he's from Souderton. Drew's working with his own quarterback, Todd Moyer, 6'2", 185. Chris Henry from Upper Perkiomen, one of the running backs. He's 6'1", 190. And the other running back is Jeff Yakel. What a year this young man had last year. Over 2,100 yards on the ground, 19 touchdowns, 6 foot even, 195 pound. The flanker from Hatboro Horsham, Tom Miller, 5'11", 170. So Drew has a little size tonight.
I don't know if Drew knows what to do with that kind of size. Drew's always had a good football team, but the kids were never really big, but they really played hard and hustled hard. I think Jeff Yakel, number 22 for the North, is about the best kind of running back we possibly have. I think he's as good as anyone around.
Boy, Jeff Yakel, they took the invitation to join us. And if you think you're having a bad day, go spend it.
Mitch Lee. From Abington, number 4, Dave Major. From Upper Marion, number 5, Brad Scioli. From Bishop McDevitt, number 6, Roger Wright. From Harrison High School, number 8, Kevin Mobley. From Haverford High School, number 10, Jeff Gawain. Germantown Academy, number 13, Larry Leith. Plymouth Whitemarsh, number 18, Michael Fitzgerald. Plymouth Whitemarsh, number 20, Mark Washington. Bishop McDevitt, number 21, Ken Arrington. Plymouth Whitemarsh, number 23, Mark Fields. Upper Marion, number 24, Michael Dow. Upper Marion, number 26, Justin Centrella. Germantown Academy, number 32, Dan Leach. Lower Moreland, number 33, John Convery. Plymouth Whitemarsh, number 34, Matt Matheson. Kennedy Kendrick High School, number 35, Don Zajic. Kennedy Kendrick, number 40, Phil Mandato. Springfield, number 42, Brian Allen. Upper Moreland, number 44, Wade Gans. Kennedy Kendrick, number 50, Aaron O'Connor. Bishop McDevitt, number 51, Pat O'Meara. Germantown Academy, number 52, Jason Novak. LaSalle, number 54, Frank Grosso. Academy of the New Church, number 55, Leanne Kingdon. Upper Marion, number 56, Michael Fabrizio. Abington, number 58, Gary Hipple. Plymouth Whitemarsh, number 60, Alex Peterson. Cheltenham, number 65, C.J. Leeds. Cheltenham, number 66, Bob Kelly. Kennedy Kendrick, number 71, Steve Lepak. Abington, number 72, Damon Neely. Kennedy Kendrick, number 73, Andy Guarini. Upper Marion, number 75, Joe Leone. Plymouth Whitemarsh, number 77, Tim Donovan. Upper Marion, number 86, Kevin Merhar. Kennedy Kendrick, number 88, Joe Pergine. And Academy of the New Church, number 90, Rick Show. Kendrick squad, the blue. On the scoreboard, the home team, the cards. Pottsgrove, number 1, Ken Mills. North Penn, number 2, Randy Sessler. Norristown, number 3, David Tuggle. Pottstown, number 8, Robert Stump. Wissahickon, number 11, Carl Ridenour. Stockton, number 12, Corey Dodonna. Sollerton, number 14, Todd Moyer. North Penn, number 15, Keith Reynolds. Lansdale Catholic, number 20, Chris Hartman. Wissahickon, number 21, Brett Schumer. North Penn, number 22, Jeff Yackel. Norristown, number 24, Jermaine Fisher. Hatfield Horsham, number 25, Thomas Miller. Sollerton, number 26, Keith Bosom. Upper Perkiomen, number 28, Bill Klein. Sollerton, number 29, Jason Zabinski. Wissahickon, number 32, Ryan Rotelli. Wissahickon, number 33, Ryan O'Malley. Sollerton, number 34, Wes Quinn. Lansdale Catholic, number 35, Greg Fitzsimmons. Upper Perkiomen, number 44, Chris Henry. North Penn, number 45, Jason Sanfelice. Upper Dublin High School, number 46, Justin Miller. Sollerton, number 50, Todd Bruner. North Penn, number 51, Ed Schnell. Upper Dublin, number 58, Jeff Blumberg. Wissahickon, number 62, Henry Foley. Norristown, number 65, Mark Milkey. Upper Dublin, number 66, Ryan Molina. Sollerton, number 67, Kevin Landis. Lansdale Catholic, number 68, Michael Dungan. Lansdale Catholic, number 70, Patrick Roddy. Stockton, number 72, Justin Gattuso. Hatfield Horsham, number 74, Joseph Banks. St. Pius, number 79, Brad Maurer. And Springford High School, number 87, Jamie Barnett. Assistant coaches, Tony Cipriano of Sollerton, Bill Coddington, Sollerton, Dan Algio, Lansdale.
South is dressed in gold with blue numerals. The North is dressed in the blue jerseys with gold numerals, and we've got all the officials out there now with the Special Olympic kids, and the captains will be coming out from either squad. And Rich Ashley, the president of the Sollerton Telford Rotary Club, along with Charlie Mills, the district governor from Rotary, are out there representing the Rotary here this evening at Upper Dublin High School. And we'll tell you in just a few seconds is who won the toss of the coin, and so we're only moments away from the opening kickoff here in the 27th annual All-Star football game. And referee Larry Larry Friedel said, I should let one of the kids flip the coin, shouldn't I? But he was pretty excited when I told him the Special Olympic kids were coming out there. And really, that's what it's all about, the Special Olympic kids out there at the middle of the field. Look at Larry Friedel, how he's handling those young people and how he's telling them and introducing him to those big guys that are wearing the pads tonight, George. And you know, I can't help but think that those young people are going to remember that for a long, long time. You know,
we had a couple kids at our football games this year and in the locker room from the Special Olympic kids, and I'm telling you, they were thrilled and we were thrilled, and there was excitement in the air, and they'll never forget it, just like I will never forget it.
Yeah, it's something that just kind of sticks in your mind, and you just say, boy, I'm glad I was part of that. And as you said, and I said a little earlier, if you think you're having a bad day, look in the mirror and say thank you very much and move on, I guess is the way to phrase it. George, how does a guy like Drew, who's been involved so many years, and Steve Shine, how do you get prepared for something like tonight?
Well, I don't think there's a great deal of preparation.
So, Mandato approaches the football, and we're underway. Going to go short to Quinn. Quinn's going to field it down around the 10, looking for room. Trying to turn this left side. Gets a good block from Jeff Yakel. Turns the corner, out across the 20, out close to the 22-yard line. And in on the stop for the South squad was Gabe Major out of Abington High School. So we're set and ready to go as Todd Moyer will direct the offense. And we'll see Chris Henry along with Jeff Yakel. And I'll see if they made any changes in that starting lineup, because what we had was kind of tentative. Jim Church along with George Marinko tonight here at Upper Dublin High School. There's Chris Henry. He wears the number 44. Jeff Yakel spots the number 22. The backs are strong right. Moyer takes the snap, rolls right, sets, throws, throwing deep on the far sidelines, incomplete. Intended downfield for his receiver. And it goes incomplete. Klein, the intended receiver. I think he just threw that one away.
Well, I think he threw that one away, but I think Todd tripped. Todd Moyer, the quarterback, he rolled out to the right, more of a sprint-like action. I think he kind of tripped and was called off bounds, so he just threw the ball away.
Well, I see number 5 for the South, Brad Scioli. Boy, is he a good athlete. He's the outside linebacker on the right side. 2nd and 10, the backs are strong left for Todd Moyer from Southern High School. Little delay, they go inside. Gets out close to the 26-yard line. Jeff Yakel from North Penn on the carry. Give Jeff about 3.5 to 4 yards. We'll call it 3rd and 6. In on the stop was Mitch Lee from Abington. So it's 3rd down. Spot the football about the 26-yard line, the North 26. A slot to the right side. 3rd and 6 for Todd Moyer with hands under center and the backs are open. Todd takes a snap, rolls right, all kinds of room. He's going to run with the football, looking for that 1st down marker, out across the 30, out close to the 33. And we'll wait and see where the officials spot the football to see if he picked up the 1st down. And he did. Smart heads up move by Todd.
That's why Soderton was 10-1 this year, because of this kid. He rolls out to the right. You know, if the linebacker comes up, he throws the ball. If the linebacker stays back, he runs it. And he ran it that time and picked up 8 or 9 yards. That's why he's a good quarterback.
All of a sudden, there was all kinds of room there in that gap, wasn't there? So 1st and 10 for the Indians. Put the football on their own 34-yard line. Not the Indians, the North squad. So many of the Indians out there from Saturday, I'm starting to call them the Indians. 1st and 10 as Todd Moyer comes inside to Yakel. Boy, he stood up as he hits the line of scrimmage. Making the initial hit for the South was Leaps out of Germantown Academy. He made the initial stop, then he had all kinds of help. Also in on the stop was Damon Neely out of Abington. Damon goes 6'4", 290. He fills up a lot of room.
Here's where this game is very difficult. A lot of people don't understand. The toughest part to coach and teach is the offensive line. It's a very skilled position, and you have only 7 or 8 days to teach these kids the blocking rules, and it's very hard.
A loss of a yard on the play, 2nd and 11 for the North as they get out over the football on their own 33-yard line. As Todd Moyer, hands under center, takes a snap, pitches back to Chris Henry, a loose football, the South on the recovery. At the South 26-yard line, Scioli on the recovery. So we'll flip-flop, and the first turnover goes against the North. The South will have it. See where they spot it. What about the 20? It's tough. We're looking right into the sun. About the 26?
I would say about the 26-yard line.
Okay. So Michael Fitzgerald, sporting the number 18, leads him out over the football. Delaware wing T is what they operate out of. The handoff goes to Mark Washington. Mark spins around the right side, gets a little bit of running room, gets down close to the 22-yard line. Some decent yardage off the right-hand side. Wes Quinn out of the secondary and on the stop for the North squad. So a gain of 6 on the play, 2nd and 4.
See, when you have a game like this, when you have only 8 days to prepare, you're going to have some miscues out there. You're going to have some turnovers because the timing is not there the way it should be.
Matt Matheson, one of the running backs, the only running back behind Fitzgerald, takes a handoff, tries to turn that left side, gets into the secondary and then dropped as he gets inside the 20 down around the 18-yard line.
Wes Quinn carries.
So Matheson picked up about 3 on the play, 3rd and 1.
You can't hit a kid like that low. You got to hit that kid around the numbers of the shoulder pads because his legs are up very high and he's a hard runner.
George, would that be one of the problems playing football in June? The tackling again, you've got to get back into
yeah.
Would that be one of the problems?
I think so. You know, again, I repeat what I said earlier. They only had 8 days to prepare for this football game.
Brad Scioli in a quarterback, keeps it himself on the keeper off the right side. We've got a huge pile up down around the 18-yard line. Brad from Upper Marion High School, fine athlete, 6'4", 235. Pretty good basketball player, too.
I would say pretty good all-around athlete. That's why Joe Paterno picked him up at Penn State.
I would think that's a pretty good choice, right?
Keep in mind, colleges today, they look at the all-around athlete. They don't look at just a football player or a basketball player. They want the all-around kid, the all-around talented kid.
So Scioli gets the first down, 1st and 10, put the football on the north 17-yard line on the turnover. They hand off to Washington, Mark around the right side, gets inside the 15, down around the 13-yard line. And on a stop for the North was Jason Sanfelice out of North Penn.
20, Mark Washington carried.
We're down to 9 minutes and some change left in the scoreless first quarter. As Washington picks up 3, bring up a 2nd and 7. Ball resting right around the north 14-yard line.
One of the problems they always have is the time in the backfield between the exchange between the quarterback and the running backs because, again, of the lack of practice time. But they usually get better by the second half.
In motion to the right comes Washington. Straight dive to Matheson, and Matheson's going to go in standing up. Matheson from 14 yards out.
That was a beautiful run right up the middle, the gut, like a counter, straight ahead. He exploded like he knew what he was doing. Give credit to the offensive line, the center and their 2 guards really opened up that hole. Once he got by, he was gone.
Did a great job. So the key here is they took the turnover and they got it in the end zone, so they're going to come away with points. With 8:46 left in the first quarter. And they'll tee it up and go for the extra point. And Dotto will attempt the extra point from Kennedy Kenrick. The snap. And a little bit of a mix-up. Fitzgerald's going to take the football and run with it. And can he get into the end zone? And they say yes, he does for 2. So the score goes to 8-0 in favor of the South. We'll be back with a kickoff in 60 seconds.
8 minutes, 46 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. The score of the South, 8 to North, 0. Number 40, Phil Mandato.
So the South gets on the board first down here at Upper Dublin High School. And George, how important is it to score first?
Number 22, Jeff.
I don't know. I think in an all-star game it's not that important, contrary to what people think. I think the team that scores first only scores 6 points or 7 points or whatever, and the other team knows they're still in the ball game and they're all right. Now, if they score a second one, then of course they're going to lose some enthusiasm, and you know they're going to have to start playing some football to get back. But it's an all-star game. They're very talented kids, so they can come back.
Short kickoff picked up by Wes Quinn down around the 10-yard line, trying to turn this near side, gets out across the 20, slips and falls out to the 22-yard line. And that's where the North will start this possession from their own 22. They trail 8-0.
Now see, when you catch the ball right up the middle there, like Wes Quinn did there, he should have just gone straight ahead, picked up as much yardage as he possibly could. When you start running towards the sideline, you run 30 yards to the sideline, 1 yard upfield, it's not good.
So the North gets out over the football on their own 22-yard line. Todd Moyer, hands under center. Goes to Jeff Yackel off the right side. Yackel breaks one tackle, breaks a second tackle, gets out across the 30, out close to the 32-yard line. Then on the stop is Mark Fields out of Plymouth Whitemarsh. And when you can get Jeff Yackel beyond the linebackers, he's good for 8, 9, and maybe more.
He had a nice little hole there opened up by the offensive line. He got by there, and I'll tell you, if he gets by like that again, it's going to be goodbye. He's going to go a long way.
2nd and 1 for the North as they get out over the football on their own 32-yard line. Just under 8 minutes left in the first quarter. Straight dive by Yackel, and he's got the first down as he cracks out across the 35, close to the 36-yard line. And you know another thing about Jeff Yackel? He's a workhorse. He'll lug the football 30 times if he has to.
Well, he's just a good football player. He's a very coachable kid, well liked by his fellow teammates, runs hard, plays hard, and he's the kind of guy that all coaches love to coach.
Tim Donovan, 6'1", 210 here, the defensive end on the right side, was in on that last stop. As Todd Moyer has a first down, put the football on the North 36-yard line. They trail 8-0. They counter from right to left to Yackel. Jeff into the secondary, really stood up as he gets out across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Kind of double teamed on him out there, but Mitch Lee put the final hit to him out of the secondary from Abington.
It was a real good run by Jeff, but Mitch Lee did a real good job coming up and putting his shoulder pads right in the numbers and taking them back. That was a real good defensive play because he could have gone a long way.
Well, give Yackel 6 yards, 2nd and 4. Ball resting on the North 42-yard line. As Yackel in that backfield now, along with Dave Tuckle from Norristown. Boy, can he fly. Yackel straight dive off the right side, gets out close to his own 45-yard line. Stood up by 3 or 4 of the gold jerseys of the South. Heading him up was Neely out of Abington High School, along with Pat O'Meara from McDevitt. Just shy of the 45, 3rd and about a yard.
Neely. I think Abington's had a Neely for the last 20 years. I know I coached them years ago, Abington. Matter of fact, one of my kids is now coaching Abington, Doug Moisture.
Yeah, and he's got to be one of the biggest, though, this one.
Yes. Boy, they were all good football players.
This guy is
very
big.
Talented kids.
3rd and less than a yard.
There's a fumble.
Bad exchange. They pitch back to Tuggle. Tuggle's going to be tripped up behind the offensive line. And a play that was designed to pitch back goes for Noss on a Todd Moyer lost on the exchange from the center. And it brings up 4th and 3, so the North's going to have to punt and give up the football.
You know, when you get something like that happens to you, it's hard to say whose fault it is. Is the quarterback's fault for moving away too soon from the center, or is the center's fault for not snapping the ball back? It's very difficult to see and determine. Even down on the field as a coach, it's hard to understand who made the fumble.
Major and Centrella will drop back in double safety for the South. Centrella from Upper Merion High School, Major from Abington. As I'll lean to my right so George Marinko can see him.
I'm having a hard time seeing this play. I don't want to talk about it too much, but
as the North will punt and give up the football with just a little over 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Good snap from center. Short punt goes off the side of his foot. Going to hit at the 40, takes a north bounce, goes inside the 35, down around the 31-yard line. That's where the South will have it. 1st and 10. They're up 8-0 with 5:04 left in quarter number 1.
There's one problem you always have in an all-star game, and that's the special teams. You just don't have the time in practice to coach and teach these kids all the specials that you need to do to have a good football game. And as an end result is you very seldom have too many good punts in a game. You have problems with an extra point. You have problems with a field goal, and et cetera, et cetera.
So the South will have it on their own 31-yard line, 1st and 10. As Fitzgerald hands off on the left side. Running back Roger Wright out of McDevitt. Roger gets a little yardage off that left side, not too much. Gets out to about his own 32, maybe the 33-yard line.
Roger Wright is carried for the South.
So gain of a couple of yards on the play.
Gain of 2.
2nd and 8 for the South.
Let's have a nice hand for our North cheerleading squad from Upper
As
Dublin
the
High
gold-shirted South out over the football.
Thank you.
All kinds of shifting going on as the South moving all over the place. Straight dive off the right side, good yardage, out across the 40, close to the 41-yard line. Looked like Wade Gans is in that offensive backfield out of Upper Moreland.
All they did is shifted and then went in motion, hoping to move the linebacker out, which is what they did. And they had a good block by the right tackle when there was a little hole there, and he picked up some yardage.
Yeah, put it just shy of the 42-yard line. Yeah, 1st and 10. Boy, the field crew people here at Upper Dublin High School have just done a great job. This field is in excellent shape and well marked, just outstanding. Here's the handoff to Wright. Wright turns this right corner, gets out across his own 45 to the 46-yard line, where he's dropped at the 46. Robert Stump out of Pottstown High School in on the stop. And on the carry was Kevin Mobley out of Harrington.
We have an official timeout.
Put the football
At this time,
on the
we'd like to recognize the
north
people who put
47-yard line.
together for tonight. Mr. Tony Laws and grounds crew, Mr. John Harrer. What a terrific job. Look at that field.
As you might have picked up what gay announcer Jeff Huddleston was saying, the grounds people that we just commented on. Back to throw, rolling left, getting away, left-handed thrower, and it's incomplete. Tipped downfield, the intended receiver down around the 42-yard line. Now one of the North backs diving to try to come up with it. Jeff Cohen from Haverford. Pass went incomplete, left-handed thrower. So it brings it back, will bring up 3rd and 5.
Actually, he had some men open there, but he was throwing the ball off balance, and I think that's what happened there, and it was almost picked off by the defensive back.
Gabe Major, he'll be split wide to the left. To the near side comes Larry Leith out of Germantown Academy. Slot to the right. They go straight dive up the middle. Right to the midfield stripe. Ball carrier was Wade Gans out of Upper Moreland High School. Going to be shy of the 1st down. In on the stop for the North was Ryan Molino. Ryan from Upper Dublin. Ryan's played a lot of football right here at this field. And Chris Henry assisting on the stop. So it'll bring up the 4th down, and the South will go back and punt. We'll see Vieko along with Wes Quinn go back the field to punt. Clock continues to move with less than 3 minutes left in period number 1. I want to remind you, tuned to 1440 WNPV in Lansdale. As the South out over the football. Get the punt off from around their own 42-yard line. Boy, fumbles the snap, and he gets it away, but it's going to be short. Hits inside the 40, going to roll down around the South 37-yard line. Getting back to the special teams.
Yes. Just what I said about earlier, the special teams, they can be the heart of the football game, and you spend very little time with them in an all-star game. But that kid, he also had time to just pick up the ball and kick it, because the rule here in an all-star game is the front 5 cannot rush the punter.
Right.
They can make their move, and after 3 yards, they got to stop. The outside man can rush.
8-0 in favor of the South. If you've just joined us here on 1440, 2:36 left in period number 1 from Flying Cardinal Stadium here at Upper Dublin High School. As the North gets out over the football, Todd Moyer, hands under center, takes the snap, dropping straight back, looking downfield for Bussum. He's got it. Keith with a great reception up around the 48-yard line. And Keith Bussum, one of Todd Moyer's favorite receivers last year.
That was just a good pass and a good catch. You can't prevent something like that. He threw it perfectly. The kid went up in the air and caught the ball. That's what Todd does well.
So put the football on the North 47-yard line. 1st and 10 as Todd Moyer comes out throwing this series.
Well, I kind of figured Drew was going to throw the ball sooner or later.
Chris Henry, one of the running backs. And Dave Tuggle in there now also. As Todd Moyer hands off to Tuggle. Tuggle off that right side. It's Kenny Mills, rather, from Pottsgrove. Let me correct myself. Kenny Mills gets it out close to the 48, maybe the 49. They tell me he's a barn burner, too.
I think you got quite a few barn burners out there.
I haven't seen him. This is my first peek at him. Kenny Mills out of Pottsgrove High School wearing the number 1.
You have about 7 or 8 backs out there that are very capable of going all the way. All the way. The problem they're having is what I mentioned earlier. The offensive line is having a hard time blocking and opening up any kind of hole.
Gain of 1 for Kenny Mills on the play. 2nd and 9. As Todd Moyer brings his offensive unit out over the football. Running the option to the left, pitching back to Mills. Midfield slips as he cuts back inside. Gets it down to the south 46-yard line. Had a little bit of running room if he could have stayed on his feet.
That was a nice little option. They picked up 5 or 6 yards. Now what they're going to have to do is continue that option maybe to the right side of the field, and Todd's going to have to keep the ball every so often. And Todd's a very good runner. He's very capable of doing that.
So bring up 3rd and 3. We've got 58 seconds left in the first quarter and counting.
At the south 46-yard line, where it's 3rd down.
3rd, maybe about 3, just shy of the south 45-yard line. Todd Moyer has the backs open on 3rd down call. Fakes inside, back to throw. Oh, he's got Bussum wide open. He's got it at the 25, to the 20, to the 19-yard line. 1st and 10 for the North. What a great call.
What a great call. What a hit Brass really put on Todd Moyer, and Todd still got the ball off. It was a great pass.
Again, there's that favorite connection. Moyer to Bussum. Inside the 20, put it on the 19-yard line. 1st and 10 for the North. They trail 8-0. 25 seconds left in the first quarter, and the clock runs as the North gets out over the football. Todd Moyer, the Souderton quarterback, marking out the signal. Straight dive off the right side, gets a couple of yards down close to the 17-yard line. The ball carrier was Chris Henry. So as we end the first quarter here at Cardinal Stadium in Upper Dublin High School, it's the South 8, the North nothing. Back with the second quarter in 60 seconds.
And that's the end of the first quarter with the score. The South 8, the North 0.
People here at Upper Dublin High School, what can I say about them? They've just done assisting us, the Rotary Club, have just done a great job. But boy, the North starting to threaten. 2nd and 8 on the south 17-yard line as we're underway in the second quarter. Here's the trap to Yackel. Yackel at 15, spins, drives inside the 10, down close to the 6. There's another example of Jeff Yackel.
Kept his head up, kept his feet running all the time. He just did a high five, kept going straight through. He just couldn't be stopped. He's a good runner. He knows how to run with his feet up high. Those knees keep churning away.
And he's a nice young man, too. Just a nice guy to be around. Put the ball on the 8-yard line. They say his right knee went down at the 8. 1st and goal. As Todd Moyer, hands under center, straight dive to Yackel, sticks down his head, drives, gets inside the 5 to the 4. That's the neat part with Jeff Yackel. He can go inside, he can go outside, and I think sometimes, a lot of people don't realize how hard a runner he is inside.
When you get down the goal line, you run your best, and he's their best. Now also keep in mind the defense, they're allowed to blitz down here in the 2 to 3-yard line. Anything within 10, anything goes.
So 2nd and goal for the North on the 4-yard line. In that offensive set with Yackel is Kenny Mills. Moyer keeps it himself. Gets down around the 3, maybe the 2-yard line, so it's going to bring up a 3rd and goal. As the center of that defensive unit for the South kind of stiffens, brings him down at the 2-yard line. Is that the 2 or the 1? About the 2-yard line.
I would say about the 2.
So here's a big
he was moving out. Todd was moving out, but the offensive line did not move out quick enough.
So it's Mills and Yackel behind Todd Moyer. 3rd and goal from the 2. We got movement on the defensive side, but they say no, he didn't get in the zone. I thought maybe he jumped into the encroachment zone, but they say no.
Number 24, Michael Sal.
Real good defensive play by number 24, Michael Stroud. Excellent
great play. No gain on the play, so here's a big call. 4th and goal from the 2.
Drew's going to go for it. He's got to. You don't kick a field goal.
Again, it's Kenny Mills and Jeff Yackel. Strong to the left. Todd Moyer takes the snap. Pitching back to Kenny Mills. Mills diving into the end zone. Kenny Mills gets the North on the board. Kenny out of Pottsboro, 6 foot even, 175-pounder. A nice drive by the North.
Nice drive, nice play. Todd flipped the ball out nice, kept the ball until the last second, then he tossed it out for the option. Excellent football play. Good play calling by Drew.
That stops the clock with 11:48 left in the second quarter. And we've got an 8-6 ball game. Let's see what Drew does. I never try to second guess Drew here on the microphone.
You know, it's very easy up here to second guess. This is a bad place to be. I'm not used to this.
Chris Henry and Mills, the running backs behind Tom Moyer, they're going to go for 2. And the option left, they pitch back to Kenny Mills. Mills looking for room, and they drop him.
They stopped at that time.
So the score remains the South 8, the North 6. 11:48 left in the first half. Back with more in 60 seconds.
And with 11:48 remaining here in the first half, it's the South 8, the North 6. Kicking off for the North, number 66, Ryan Molino. Mark Washington, number 20, and number 6.
Ryan Molino out of Upper Dublin will kick off. Gets a good high kickoff. Right moves under it and loses it, picks it up, out across the 25, out close to the 30-yard line. He's very fortunate that he even came up with a football after he kicked it away, but the South will maintain possession rather as Wright moves it out close, well, they say over to 30, about the 31-yard line.
Well, there you had the team coming down, the kickoff team, very tentative, coming down, maybe not full speed ahead, taking her time, which comes again from a lack of practice time.
Yeah. So 1st and 10 for the South on the 31-yard line. Washington trying to turn that right side. Gets away in the first tackle, gets away in the second tackle. Into the secondary, midfield, 45, 40, 35, and then runs out of bounds. Matter of fact, he stepped out of bounds out around the North 49-yard line. That might be a blessing in disguise for the North.
Yes. That was one good run.
He broke a tackle at the line of scrimmage. Jermaine Fisher had a shot at him from Norristown. And the speed of Washington was just a little too much for Fisher.
When you have that kind of speed and you get by the linebacker and you go down the sideline, it's usually all the way.
So put the football on the North 49-yard line. Stops the clock with 11:14 left in the first half. We've got an 8-6 ball game in favor of the South, and they've got the football. 1st and 10 on the North 49. They go inside. Nice hole, gets down to about the 45-yard line.
See, what you have now is you're in your second quarter, and both offensive teams now, the linemen are starting to know a little bit about what to block and who to block and what to do. And they're moving a little bit better.
Matheson out of Plymouth Whitemarsh on the carry to the 45. Chris Hartman out of Lansdale Catholic in on the stop. Gain of 4 in the play, 2nd and 6 for the South on the North 45-yard line. Steve Lepak out of Kennedy Kenrick out over the football. And they hand off to Sajek coming from right to left. Dan tries to turn this left corner, gets it down close to the 40-yard line. Randy Fessler along with Hartman. Pick up about 4 on the play, so they're going to bring up 3rd on a long 1.
Actually, that was not bad defense at all. They
No.
kind of come in there real fast and stopped the kid for a 2 or 3 yard gain.
And we see Drew shuffling a lot of people in and out of the ball game. 3rd and 1 for the South. Ball just inside the North 40-yard line. It's Fitzgerald out of Jenkintown High School with hands under center. Hands off to the tailback.
Good defense.
And he broke away. They had him stop, spins. He's in the secondary. The 20, the 25. There's a flag at the 27-yard line. Boy, that was a great 2nd and 3rd effort by running back Kevin Mobley out of Harrington, but a flag at about the 27-yard line, the north 27. But Georgia had him stopped, and he spun out of the grass.
But they committed one sin. They did not wrap their arms around him, and the kid is too good a football player. He kept his leg moving up and down, and he just broke away.
It looks like the penalty's against the North. It is. Illegal participation on the North. So it was declined, put the football on the North 15-yard line.
That, to me, was the best run of the night so far.
Sure was. Great
Good
run.
second effort.
Be interesting as we see who the media selects MVP, and MVP will go to one to the north and one to the south later tonight, and that's quite an award for a young man to receive 2 out of this ball game. So the North has a first down, ball resting on the 15-yard line, the South rather. Straight dive off the right side, and again a good second effort, gets some yardage off the right side. Ball carrier was Mark Washington out of Plymouth Whitemarsh.
The North defensive team, the linemen are hitting the ball carriers from the South, but they're not wrapping their arms. And because they're not wrapping their arms, they're bouncing away and going around and picking up yardage.
Gain of 2 on the play, put it on the North 13-yard line. And on the stop was Ryan Rotelli out of Wissahickon High School. He's kind of limping around down there. And about another 15 seconds, and that sun will drop below the trees, and we'll be in good shape there. Fitzgerald, little play action pass on the right side, has his receiver, who is really drilled on the far side of the field by Wes Quinn.
Wes Quinn did a good job there defensively. That was hard to stop that pass, but actually when he hit him, you would think the kid might fumble the ball, but he didn't. He held on to it. So it was a good play, both offensively and defensively.
Don Sajak was a receiver. He's drilled out of bounds down around the 10-yard line. So a big third down call for the South. Put the ball on the 10. Third on about 5. With 8:20 left in the first half. 8-6 the South, and they're threatening. Fitzgerald hands off to Washington. Big hole. Mark's got the first down as he cracks inside the 5. Matter of fact, he gets into the end zone. 10-yard scamper.
I'll tell you, there was a nice hole there, but did he explode and put on the speed? Washington really can move with that football. I mean, he can explode, and he scored a touchdown.
So Mark Washington from 10 yards out widens the lead for the South. They now lead 14-6, and we'll go for the extra point.
Number 40, Phil Mandato.
Mandato on the extra point try. The snap, the place, the kick is up. Is it good?
The kick is up.
It's good.
And it is
And the score goes to 15-6 in favor of the South. 8:11 left in the first half. Back with the kickoff in 60 seconds.
Again, a reminder, we ask your kind cooperation, please. No smoking. Thank you.
That was a pretty impressive drive, George.
Yes, it was. I was very impressed with Mark Washington, the way he exploded through there and scored a touchdown. But here, you know, these poor linemen, they do such a good job, and they don't get the credit they deserve. And the name of this game is you open a little hole up for a guy like Mark Washington or Diego, and that's it. They can move.
Mandato with the kickoff. Going to be fielded over around the 5-yard line by David Tuggle out of Norristown. Dave around his right side. Spins out across the 25, out across the 30, close to the 32. So Tuggle on the nice kickoff return gets the North pretty good field position, and that's where the North will start. They trail 15-6 with 8 minutes left in the first half.
Anytime you have the ball around the 30-yard line to 35, that's good field position to start. But the kickoffs have not been that good by either team.
So the North finds themselves trailing 15-6 with less than 8 minutes left in the first half. And Todd Moyer, let's see who he's got back there. Chris Henry, along with Kenny Mills out of Pottsgrove. They're the running backs. Are strong right behind Todd Moyer. Todd, long count, straight dive off to Kenny Mills. Mills looking for him, 35, tripped up at the 35, pulls forward to the 37-yard line. In on the stop was Justin Centrella out of Upper Marion High School, wearing the number 26.
Justin Centrella.
As coming in with the call from the near sidelines is Thomas Miller out of Hatboro Horsham.
Second down.
The North team is having a hard time moving these big kids from the South right now.
What a good pickup of 5 yards.
Yes, it has. It's a good football game.
Yep.
It's what an all-star game should be all about.
Miller will split wide left. He's from Hatboro Horsham as Todd Moyer has a 2nd and 5. Todd counters from right to left to Mills. Mills spins, drives, gets out to the 39. And there's about 5 gold jerseys waiting for him there. We can give about 5 guys credit for that stop.
The initial hit, number 65, C.J. Leeds.
C.J. Leeds out of Cheltenham with the initial hit, all 6'4" of him.
It's third down.
There's nothing like gang tackling. You pursuit, when one guy hits him, you hope that 3 or 4 come over and help out. That's the name of the game. And those kids right now are doing a good job on the South team.
You know, that's one of the things I think you can attribute to Drew Darren, his squad through the years, George. He's always done a great job of that.
Official time.
Third and about 3 as we've got just a slight delay.
You see, this team here is being coached basically by Steve Shine, the head coach, along with great assistant coaches, but he also teaches that pursuit.
So 3rd and 3 as the North gets out over the football. Todd Moyer takes the snap. Rolling right, option to Mills. Mills turns the right corner, gets a block, 45 midfield. Driven out of bounds right here in front of us by Brian Allen from Springfield.
And he picks up the first down for the North.
That was a nice option to the short side of the field. I think it caught the South off guard. I think if they thought they were going to run the option, it's going to be the right side of the field, and Drew came back to the short side.
Well, you know, Kenny Mills, he's done that twice now to the short side of the field. He might be setting Mills up.
Could be. I don't know. As I mentioned earlier, it's so easy to sit up here, look down, and I'll tell you, I think I'd rather be down the field now than come up here, although I'm completely relaxed up here.
Kenny Mills along with Chris Henry, the running backs. Ryan O'Malley is going to split wide left. Todd Moyer directing him as he slots to the left side. Long count. Moyer back to throw. Looking to the far sidelines, and it's incomplete. Down around the south 42-yard line. I think his intended receiver, Tom Miller out of Hatboro Horsham.
Well, I think it was a little pressure on Todd that time. He released the ball quite fast. Of course, he had to. He was hit as soon as he released the football. I think if Todd, he's real good on a rollout or a sprint out, and there he was back in the pocket. And I think the pressure got to him a little bit. And, well, actually, he was hit and knocked down, so it did get to him.
Put the football back at the original line of scrimmage, the north 48-yard line. Bring Yankel into the ball game. Yankel replaces Chris Henry. Here's the trap to Yankel. Midfield, spins down to the south 46-yard line. Little draw play that Drew Dara loves to run.
He runs that play a lot, but you got to give credit to the South defensive line right now. They're staying right in there, and they're hitting him. Not just one kid, but they're putting pressure on the North quarterback, Scott.
Well, it brings up a big 3rd down, 3rd and 5. I'm sure Coach Shine knows what Dara, the head football coach of the North,
well, you know,
start looking for that play.
When you've been coaching as long as Drew Darrow and Steve Shine right now, and myself, you get to know each other.
So a big 3rd down play for the North. 3rd and 5, just outside the south 46. Trying to set a screen to Yankel to the left. Jeff's got it deep in his backfield. Looking for room. Jeff going to be dropped at the North 49-yard line. Boy, did the South read that play well.
They read that real good, real correct. And I think Yeager was too deep in the backfield when he caught the ball. There was really no place for him to go. But again, give the South credit. The defense did a good job. The linebackers knew exactly what was going on, and they were there.
Yeah, there was no room there, was there? So 4th and 9. The original line of scrimmage was a 48-yard line. So the South will drop back. Centrella along with Gabe Major. The field to punt.
Sometimes I like to put a play in where you fake the screen when you see he's going to get killed out there. Just keep the ball and run the other way with it, see what happens.
Yeah, you're right. Keith Bussum, I think, is back there doing the punting for Souderton. I think it's Keith. Good snap from center. And he gets it away. Boy, does he boom that one out of there. Going to field it at the 15. Fake reverse. Looking for room. Gets away from the initial wave of tacklers. Then returns it back to the 13-yard line. That's where the South will have it. 1st and 10. Stops the clock with 4:12 left in the first half. The South on top 15-6.
That was good coverage by the North team, probably the best of the night. They were down there. They were 4 yards apart. They knew exactly what was going on. They didn't go for the fake. That's a good job.
Great hang time on that one.
Yeah, it's a good punt.
We've got a timeout on the football field as let's see who's taking it. No, the official. We're going to keep it right here. It's an official timeout. I thought maybe the South was going to use one of their timeouts. And Larry Friedel says, nope, mark the ball for play. We'll keep it right here. 4:03 left in the first half as the South out over the football. Now we got a change in the quarterback. He's going to be dropped back at the 6-yard line. Quarterback is Jeff Gohan out of Haverford. Boy, great defense by the North. He never even stood a chance. He turned around. All he saw was dark blue jerseys.
I think he wanted to bootleg it left and run or pass with the ball, but he was surrounded by the North team real fast. Good defense.
That looked like a great cavalry charge, didn't it?
Yes.
A loss of 6 on the play. Put the football back around the 6-yard line. Clock continues to run with 3:20 left in the first half.
Quarterbacking for the South, Jeff Gohan, number 10.
And Gohan in there at quarterback, Jeff Gohan from Haverford High School. We'll pick up the other running backs. He hands off on the right side to Kevin Mobley. Mobley trying to turn that right side. Gets it out across the 10, maybe to the 12-yard line. Let's see if somebody starts using timeouts.
Brought down by number 8, Robert Stump.
Stump in on the stop for the North.
They both should have 3 timeouts left.
3rd and 11. Ball resting on the 11-yard line. The South 11-yard line. Well, if they don't get the first down on this one, you can rest assured Drew will use a timeout. And we see the Upper Dublin High School Marching Band getting ready to put a halftime show on here tonight. And then also for our spectators, got a rugby exhibition. So they get a double dip here at halftime. 3rd and 11 for the South. As they come off the right side with Wright. Wright gets a couple of yards out to about the 14-yard line. And very quickly, the North, I think they're going to take a timeout.
Yes.
They are.
Yeah.
15-6, the South on top. 2:18 left in the first half. Back with more in 60 seconds. South back to punt. Jeff Yackel fields it at the South 48-yard line, gives ground all the way back to his own 48-yard line. Good pressure and good pursuit.
Brought down by number 32, Dan Leach.
Dan Leaps out of Germantown Academy. Boy, that was great coverage by Dan.
It was great coverage by the South, there's no question about it. But once again, these punt returners have to realize if it's a poor punt, a short punt, just pick the ball up and go straight ahead. Stop trying to run to the sidelines.
So the North, who trails 15-6, they've got 1:58 left in the first half. They've got the football on their own 47-yard line. Todd Moyer, little play action pass, rolls left, throws,
good protection.
has his receiver at the midfield stripe, falls forward to the South 49-yard line. And his receiver that time was Dave Tuggle out of Norristown. David dropped after a couple of yards to about the 49-yard line, the South 49. Gain of 4 in the play, 2nd and 6.
There's plenty of time, 1:27 to go.
Pat Roddy, 6'6", 305, the offensive right tackle for the North. Todd Moyer has a back, strong right. Little play action pass, back to throw, across the middle, battled around, up in the air, and falls incomplete down around the 39-yard line. Intended receiver was it was Tom Miller out of Haverford Horsham.
Number 25, Tom Miller.
Stops the clock with 1:13 left in the first half.
I think what happened there, he had 2 receivers the same spot in the middle of the field, which is not good. Somebody kind of blew the plate into what they were doing. It was a good pass by Todd.
So 3rd down call for Coach Dara. 15-6 our score, the South on top. As I said at halftime, Upper Dublin Marching Band will put on a show, and then the North Bend Rugby Club will put on an exhibition for our spectators here tonight. Todd Moyer, hands under center, dropping straight back, setting, going to throw deep, far sideline, and it's incomplete. Down around the 27-yard line.
Pretty good pass by Todd, but good defensive coverage by the secondary, which means incomplete.
Yeah, you're right. Phil Klein, the intended receiver out of Upper Perkiomen High School, goes for naught, so it brings up 4th down.
See, Drew does the unexpected. You get 6 yards to go for 1st down. You kind of think he would run a draw or come with a short pass, and he goes for the touchdown.
Don't be surprised to see him run the draw right now on 4th and 6 with 1:07 left in the first half. It would not surprise me if he runs it.
No.
Todd Moyer, well, takes a snap, rolls right, going to air it out downfield, and it's incomplete. Down around the 15-yard line. Nice throw by Todd Moyer. His intended receiver was Jamie Barnett out of Springford. Falls
It was a very
incomplete.
good throw by Scott.
Sure was.
Kind of surprised me, the play. I thought he would go with a draw.
Well, I thought maybe
But-
try to get the 1st down.
Keep in mind, it's an all-star game.
Yep.
I'm not sure that play would have been called during a regular high school football game.
You might be right, George. So the South takes over with 61 seconds showing on the clock. Now the North's going to have to get in the prevent defense. Now there's movement up front, and that's going to cost somebody 5.
You know, that's not bad. That's the first
First
encroachment
one. First
penalty tonight. That's very good by these two teams. That means that they are being well coached by their assistant football coach and the offensive line coaches and the defensive line coach.
The North jumped into the encroachment zone, so moved the football 5 yards, move it across the midfield stripe. Down to the North, about the 46-yard line. Clock never moved, so we still got 61 seconds left in the first half. Little delay to Washington. Washington, all kinds of running room. The 40, 35, the 30, the 25. Breaks a tackle. Into the second half, Mark Washington's going to score. Mark Washington, a 46-yard touchdown scamper. No flags. So Mark Washington gets his second score of the night.
Did you see that hole, Jim?
Oh, boy.
That offensive line really opened that hole, and then Mark Washington really ran hard with that draw. Some good running, but some good offensive blocking. I think they kind of caught North off guard there.
I think you're right. I don't think they were looking for that.
No.
So Mandato will try to add a 22nd point on the board. 51 seconds left in the first half, and the South widens the lead to 21-6. The snap, the place, the kick got plenty of distance. Is it good? Yes, it is. 22-6 our score in favor of the South. 51 seconds left in the first half. Back with the kickoff in 60 seconds. Leads 22-6 as they scored with 51 seconds left in the first half. As Mandato gets his foot into it, going to drive it deep to Yackel at the 16. Jeff trying to come to the near side, gets out across the 25, the 30, gets out to the 35, took a hard hit, but he's drugged the tackler forward to about the 36-yard line. Well, I'll tell you, Ken Harrington out of McDevitt really put a hit on him, but
Number
Yackel
21.
drugged him about 4 yards.
He knows how to hit. Wrap the arms around the numbers and just pull Jeff down, and Jeff's a real good runner.
First and 10 for the North on their own 36-yard line.
Well, I think Drew's going to let the clock run out. I think he might run a play.
As the blue-shirted North gets out across the football. 30 seconds left in counting. Todd Moyer takes the snap, rolls left. Still rolling, throws on the run, incomplete. Boy, that receiver, I think it was Keith Busman, was really covered well on the far side of the field. Yeah, that's what it was.
Well, I think he threw the ball away, threw it down on the ground. He's throwing the ball a lot off balance tonight, and normally he can do that. But I think it shows that you haven't played football for
several
almost
months.
a year. Yeah. But hey, they're still in the ball game.
Oh yeah, 22-6 isn't by no means out of the ball game at halftime.
They just need something good to happen to them right now.
Twins to the right side, and Moyer going to drop straight back. Air it out on the near side, looking downfield for Miller, and it's batted away by Mitch Lee out of Abington.
Well, that's a very difficult play to complete because the South has two deep safeties right now. They're just playing the football. And when the ball goes up high like that, they're fast enough back there to come over and just stop it.
They're back there like center fielders.
Yeah.
So I'll bring up a third down, rather. 3rd and 10 for the North on their own 36-yard line. That's Miller.
Now I'm going to
split near
second guess,
side.
Drew.
Backs are open on 3rd down. And Moyer back to throw. And he's dropped at the 29-yard line. So for all intent and purposes, that should end the first half.
Number 5, Brad Scioli.
But no, somebody's going to take a timeout. The South decides to take a timeout. 8 seconds left in the first half. We'll be back with more in 60 seconds. On 4th and long, they go with the draw of the North, and they hand off to Jeff Yackel. Yackel gets out close to about his own 34-yard line. So that ends the first half here at Cardinal Stadium at Upper Dublin High School. The South on top, 22-6. We'll be back. We'll give you that scoring. We'll do that in 90 seconds. On a turnover, the South recovered the fumble on the North 27-yard line. And with 8:46 left in the first quarter, Matt Matheson out of Plymouth White Marsh High School scampered in from 14 yards out. And really on a botched play. Mike Fitzgerald, from Jenkintown, a fine young man who's been quarterbacking the South, picked it up and, believe it or not, went off the right side, and the South led 8-0. And that's the way the score stayed at the end of the first quarter. In the second quarter, the North put together a good drive with 11:48 left in the first half. Kenny Mills out of Pottsgrove High School went in from 2 yards out. The two-point conversion try came up a little short, and it was 8-6 in favor of the South. The South came right back and put an excellent drive together. And Mark Washington out of Plymouth White Marsh High School, the running mate of Matt Matheson, went in from 10 yards out, 14-6 our score. Mandato, the extra point was good, and it was 15-6 with 8:11 left in the first half. The North had the football on their own 47-yard line. They went for it on 4th and short yardage. They came up short and turned the football over to South. They called timeout, and Mark Washington scampered 46 yards off his own right side with 51 seconds left in the first half. The extra point by Mandato was good, and that's where we are here at halftime. 22-6 in favor of the South All-Stars in the 27th annual Montgomery County All-Star Football Game. So the South, who leads 22-6. We'll get the football first here in the second half.
Well, the game is not over by a long shot. What the North team has got to do is stop this team defensively and start moving the ball themselves and score some points to get back in the football game.
So the South out over the football. We'll see who's in there at quarterback. Dwayne at quarterback. Left-hander back to throw on the far sidelines. It's out of bounds. Intended for Larry Leith out of Germantown Academy. And the pass is incomplete on the far sidelines.
Not a bad call for the second half when you're ahead 22-6, thinking that you'll probably run the football and you throw the ball.
Might as well come out throwing, right?
Yep.
So starting the second half is Jeff Gohan. He's from Haverford High School, 5'11", 170. He'll do the quarterbacking for Coach Steve Shine here, at least to start the second half anyway.
Be interested to see who the quarterback for the North is when they get the football.
Roger Wright will go in motion to the left. Second down call. They come inside, off the right side. Nice hole for Matheson. Out close to the 38-yard line. Wade Gans, rather, out of Upper Moreland. Let me correct myself. Matheson wears 34. Gans wears 44.
I think what you're going to see the second half on both sides of the football team, and that is you're going to open up more holes the second half, because now the first half is behind them. They know what they have to do. The coaches got together with them at halftime, and I think you'll see much more blocking in the second half. Hopefully, you'll see much more blocking on both sides of the ball.
3rd and 4 for the South. Split Larry Leith from Germantown Academy here to the right side. A little bit of a mix-up, and does the South recover on the 35? Yeah, that would have been a real break for the North, wouldn't it? But the South on the recovery at their own 35. So not an impressive first series.
That could be a good break for the North. Now what they have to do is get the football and start moving the ball and get some enthusiasm out there and act like a football team and score some points and they're right back in the football game.
Quinn and Yackel will drop back for the North squad to receive the punt from the South. Low snap, he fields it. Gets his, boy, that's a booming punt. Quinn calls for a fair catch at the 35-yard line and then gets hit.
Yeah, that's,
there's a break. They'll step that one off from the 35-yard line. That was a great punt, though. Really hang time.
That was a great punt, a great fair catch, and a mistake on the part of the South team. But now, you know, the North's got a break. Now they got to get some momentum going for themselves and score some points here.
Yeah, you get all the breaks you want, but you got to do something with them.
Breaks don't mean a thing unless you take advantage of them.
Yep.
When the opportunity presents itself, you got to move the football.
Moves it to midfield, so boy, you talk about good field position for your first possession, second half. It's unbelievable.
Right on the 50.
So the North, let's see if Todd Moyer's in there. Yep, Todd Moyer. We'll pick up the other running backs for you. Todd Moyer from Souderton, the 6'2", 185-pounder. Takes 2 steps back, throws. Far sidelines, incomplete, intended for Ryan O'Malley. So Drew comes out throwing right away in the second half. Well, so did Coach Steve Shine.
Both came out throwing the second half. I think Drew now is in very good position also to run the football. He's on the 50-yard line, and all he's got to do is pick out 1 or 2 first downs. He doesn't worry about putting the ball. You have 4 downs to make it first.
Well, Bill Klein comes in with the call to Todd Moyer, the quarterback. And Todd brings him up over the football, right at the midfield stripe. 22-6, the South on top, as we're 2 minutes deep into the third quarter. Chris Henry comes around the left side, sticks down his head, drives across the 44, the 45 rather. They drop him at the 44. Gain of about 6 on the play, just shy of the South 44-yard line. So a big third down call, 3rd and a long 4, as a football just shy of the South 44-yard line.
At number 3 from the South, Mitch Lee, that kid's a hitter. And he's a small kid. He knows how to hit people.
See a lot of stars on his headgear.
Yes.
Now we know why, right?
Yep.
Little mix-up in the offensive backfield, and Todd Moyer straightens the runners out. They're strong left. Klein goes in motion to the far side. Todd Moyer, 3rd and 4. Here comes the draw to Henry.
Yep.
Henry sticks down his head. He'll be stopped about a yard shy of the first down at the South 40-yard line. So now you trail 22-6. 11 minutes left in the third quarter. 4th and less than a yard. This is why you get paid to coach, right?
Well,
except this is all free.
Keep in mind, this is all free. This is an all-star game. He's going to go for the first down.
So now, it's 4th and less than a yard. That was a good call with Henry on the draw play. So Todd Moyer brings him up over the football. 4th and less than a yard on the South 41-yard line. And here they counter. They've got the first down. Yeah. Kenny Mills out of Pottsgrove. Off the left side. Gets it down inside the 39, close to the 38-yard line. 1st and 10 for the North.
That was a good call.
Yep.
All he needed was 2 yards. He got it.
So they keep the drive alive.
65 made the stop for the South. The ball now rests
just shy of the South 38-yard line. C.J. Leeds out of Cheltenham heading up the defense on that last play. As Mills, along with Chris Henry, the running backs, behind Todd Moyer out of Souderton. Option left to Mills. Mills 40, 35, 30, sticks down his head, drives to the 25-yard line. Boy, that was a great scamper by Kenny Mills out of Pottsgrove.
Yeah, that was a great pitch, too. He held on to that football to the very last second, which is the way you run the option. But Drew runs that option to the short side every time. I don't know.
That's why he's been
very
successful,
easy up
right?
there.
George Marinko doing a little scouting this right now for Methacton for next year.
Yeah, against me, he'll go to the white side.
The white side, right? 1st and 10 for the North. They've got the football on the South 25-yard line. Here's the draw play. The fake draw, pitch to Henry. around the right side, the 20, inside the 20, inside the 15, down to the 13, 1st and 10 for the North. Whew.
Great play.
What a great play that one was.
Great fake draw, ended up being a pitch. Good faking all the way.
That was a mid-season play.
Yep. That's what you call a big play in a football game. Now, if they can hold on to the football and score some points here, they're right back in the ball game.
Put the football.
But see, now they got momentum going for them.
Yep. Put the football on the south 14-yard line. 1st and 10 for the North.
14-yard line.
Klein will split to the far side. Mills and Henry, the running backs, behind Todd Moyer on 1st and 10 from the 14. Henry counters from right to left. Drives down inside the 10, close to the 9. If he's got down to the 9, he's got 5. The nice part with this series from the 14 is they can get a first down inside the 5-yard line. And you don't think that's big? Henry with 5 yards, 2nd and 5 from the 9.
See, what you got now, the North offensive line is pushing the South defensive line. They're attacking them, and they're beating them physically.
Yeah, they're winning the war up in the trenches,
right,
as we like to say. That's how you enjoy a football game. Watch the offensive line. Todd Moyer back strong right. 2nd and 5. Option to Mills around that right side, the short side. Spins, drives, still driving. On his feet, does he get in the end zone? Yes, he does. Ken Mills with a great run. Ken Mills from 9 yards out with a touchdown scamper. And I want to tell you, a 50-yard drive, and they did it in style.
Beautiful drive. Good touchdown run by Ken Mills. And that's all you need. You get momentum moving. Now they're back in a football game. And now these kids are going to start to believe that they can win the football game. And the end result is you're going to have a better football game.
It's going to be interesting. Kenny Mills has played an outstanding ball game here for the North. And Todd Moyer is going to go for 2. Todd has his back strong left on the 2-point conversion try. Little play option pass, rolling to his left, throwing, and is it good? Yes, it is, to Keith Bussum on the 2-point conversion. So we've got a 22-14 ball game in favor of the South. 8:21 left in the 3rd quarter. Back with a kickoff in 60 seconds.
To number 26, Keith Bussum, 2-point conversion. We've got a ball game. South 22, North 14, 8:21 left in the 3rd quarter.
Roger Wright out of McDevitt High School returns the kickoff for the South out to the 29-yard line. Now we'll see if the defense is fired up.
Right. See how they went down there? They went down full speed ahead. Now the North is enthused. They're winning the war of the trenches. The kids want to play football. That's what a touchdown does for you. Now we'll see what the South does about it.
As the North got a break with the 15-yard penalty assessed on the fair catch. Went to the midfield stripe, and they pushed it 50 yards. And Kenny Mills going in from 9 yards out, and the 2-point conversion was good. So the South, Cohen hands off the right side to Mark Washington. Mark Washington dragging Wes Quinn with him. Wes Quinn hangs on to him out close to the 38-yard line. So even with the good and second, third effort, Mark Washington picks up 8, 9 yards. Give him 9 yards, be 2nd and 1.
That's all second effort on the part of Mark Washington. That's good running. There's no question about it. He was hit by 2 or 3 people, and he kept moving for another 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, he's good.
He doesn't stop. He knows how to run. Second effort.
Michael Fitzgerald from Jenkintown doing the quarterbacking. Let's see if he's got Washington and Matheson in that offensive set behind him on 2nd and 1. Fakes inside to Matheson. Going to run the option left. Keeps it. No, he goes to Matheson. Matheson has a first down out across the 40, close to the 42-yard line. Good
he
fake
had me
by
fooled.
Mike.
I thought he kept it.
Good. I thought he had it too. Good fake by Michael Fitzgerald. So it gives the South a first down on their own 42-yard line. They're on top 22-14. Splitting to the near side comes Larry Leith out of Germantown Academy. Slot to the left, the backs are in the eye. Here's the pitch back to Mark Washington. Following blockers around the left side, midfield, 45, 40, inside the 35 to the 33-yard line, 1st and 10. You got to stop Mark Washington.
You can't tackle that kid at the ankles. You got to go after him at the numbers and wrap the arms because he is one good football player. He's very shifty. He knows how to run the sidelines. He knows how to cut back.
So 1st and 10 for the South, the ball on the North 33-yard line. And the South responding with a good drive so far after the North got on the board here in the second half. We've got 6 minutes left in the third quarter and counting. I want to remind you, tuned to 1440 WNPV in Lansdale. Right up the middle. Ball carrier stopped, dropped at the 35-yard line. A good read up front by the North's Brad Maurer out of St. Pius.
Brad Maurer, number 79, made the defensive
Good stop by Brad Maurer. Loss of 2 on the play, 2nd and 12. So we see a couple changes in the North lineup as Jason Sanfelice out of North Penn comes in. Chris Hartman will get a breather along with Justin Meller from Upper Dublin.
That was a big play. They got a 2-yard loss on it, now it's 2nd and 12. Now if they can hold them with this play, then it's going to really help them up.
Backs are strong right. We've got receivers either side of the field. There's a reverse to, no, it's not Washington, it's Wright. Tried to turn the right side. Does he stay in bounds? Yes, he does. And he might have enough for the first down. It's Kevin Mobley, rather, not Chris Wright.
I think he does.
Number 8, Kevin Mobley.
And does Mobley pick up enough for the first down? He does.
Picks up the first down for the South.
Put it right on the North 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for the North as it's just inside the 20.
Ladies and gentlemen, remember those
22 to 14 in favor of the South. As the South gets out over the football. Mobley from Harrington High School. He's had himself a pretty good ball game tonight. Pitch back to Mobley, trying to turn that left side. Cuts back inside, sticks down his head, drags tacklers with him down close to the 16-yard line.
Number 8, Kevin Mobley.
So Mobley with a good carry around the left side, picks up 5, 2nd and 5.
They got some good backs in that backfield.
Ooh.
I tell you, they get some blocking up there, they're going to go. Now the defense is starting to do a pretty good job for the North.
Oh, a 2nd down call for the South. Ball resting on the North 15-yard line. As the gold-shirted South gets out over the football. Right up the middle with the carry. Dropped at the line of scrimmage. Ball carrier was Matheson out of Plymouth Whitemarsh. Good defense by the North as they drop him right at the line of scrimmage. Was that Maurer again out of St. Pius?
I'm trying to see the number.
Defensive play number 35, Greg Fitzsimmons.
No, it was Greg Fitzsimmons out of Lansdale Catholic. I thought for a second it was Maurer out of Pius. So a big 3rd down call for both ball clubs. 3rd and 4, the ball on the North 14-yard line.
Very big play right now.
These 2 drives by the North and the South have taken a lot of time off the clock. There's the handoff, the spin by Washington, and with a 2nd effort, he might have got the first down as he spun off the left side.
He was hit for a 2-yard loss, and he spinned off, and I think he picked up a first down.
Yeah, he did, just inside the 10-yard line. So the South coming right back.
Both teams are playing good football right now. Both teams.
Yeah, when you can put a drive together like the North did, then come back and put a drive together like the South is doing right now.
That's not it. Sorry.
They've got the ball resting just inside the North 9-yard line. 1st and goal. And the clock continues to run. It's been a quick third quarter. I hate to say that because the fourth quarter will be real slow if I say that. Handoff inside. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Maurer and company were there.
Keep in mind, down here now, you can put 7, 8, 9, 10 men at the line of scrimmage if you want to.
Yep.
There are no rules. Anything goes down here within the 10-yard line.
Matheson, number 34.
Matheson on the carry. No gain on the play. Matter of fact, might even be a yard loss. Football just inside the 10-yard line. So we'll call it second and goal from the 9. As the gold-shirted South over the football. Back to throw, looking in the end zone, then he's got his receiver. We'll try to pick up that number. But the South comes right back.
All that was a tight end delayed. Kid counted 2 or 3 seconds, and he crossed across the field wide open. Good faking by the quarterback.
Fitzgerald to Rich Show. 9-yard touchdown pass. And the South goes out on top 29-14. And the extra point try by Mandato. The snap. Fitzgerald takes it, gets up, looks in the end zone, trying to throw, but he's dropped. Eric Brunner.
I don't know. It seemed like that was planned for him to go for 2 points because he moved awfully fast as soon as he got the football. It was not a bad center, not a bad snap at all.
So with 2 minutes left in the third quarter, 28 to 14 rather, in favor of the South. Back with a kickoff in 60 seconds.
On the return.
So that's where the North will have it. First and 10, they trail 28-14. We've got 1:55 left in the third quarter.
Fast
George,
third
along
quarter.
with George Marinko. I'm sorry, George.
Puts the ball in play. First and 10.
Still lots of time, but 42 points on the board.
The ball at the North 25-yard line.
And I guess when you look at an all-star football game, that's really what you like to see is points.
Well, that's a sign of a good team. North came down and scored right away. The South took the ball, and they came back and scored right away. That's good football. Neither team has given up, and they're played hard.
Put the football on the 21, 25-yard line. Put Brett Schumer in at quarterback from Wissahickon High School. Back to throw. And it's picked off at the 35, the 30, the 25, the 20, inside the 15, the 10, inside the 5. It'll be first and goal for the South. As the only interception was Justin Centrella from Upper Marion High School. We've got a flag. Let's check out the flag. But Centrella with a great read, cut right in front of the receiver, picked it off at the 35-yard line, returned it all the way to the 3, but let's see what the call is. As the referee's sorting things out.
I think it's rough in the passer, rough on the quarterback.
Personal foul against the South. So, forget that great interception by Centrella. That'll look good on film, though. So they roughed the passer, so we'll go back to the original line of scrimmage, which was the 25, according to Mr. Bolick, the clock operator. And they move it out to the 40, first and 10 for the North. He's donated his time tonight, also along with a lot of other people. And I don't know if his family's with him tonight or not. No, he made a solo run down here at Upper Dublin High School. And we appreciate you, George, being with us tonight on the microphone. Nice to have you along board.
Let me tell you, it's an easy job sitting up here looking down for a football coach.
First and 10 on the 40-yard line for the North. As Brett Schumer from Wissahickon High School takes a snap, rolls, throws to Bussum. He's got him. Keith spins across the 48, out close to the 49-yard line. Good second effort by Keith Bussum. A nice reception by Keith from Souter. Put it on the North 49-yard line, second and about 1.
I think he's trying to pick them apart with a short pass. Pick up 5 or 6 yards on every play, which Drew Darrow does an awful lot.
That's one of his techniques, isn't it?
Don't be surprised to see a draw in here somewhere along the way.
So Brett Schumer leads him out over the football. Brett did a fine job at Wissahickon High School. Oh, now we got movement on the left side. Well, new quarterback. Does that change things in an all-star game?
Absolutely. It's all timing. You have to work on your cadence, and every quarterback does not get that much time in practice with the first offensive unit. Therefore, you're going to have that problem.
So move it back to the North 44-yard line. They got to get it to midfield, so when I went to school, that was second and 6. Even with the new math, I guess that hasn't changed, has it, George? Okay.
I don't think so.
Just double checking. Second and 6 for the North on their own 44-yard line. Brett Schummer takes the snap, rolls right, throws in a run downfield. Oh, almost a great catch around the 28-yard line. Good coverage over there, but just almost a great reception downfield. Pick up who that young man was. That was
Incomplete.
great effort. Tom Miller from Hatboro Horsham. That was a great effort.
Actually, the secondary did a good job. You can't ask for better defense than that. It was just
great throw, though, too.
Great throw and almost a great pass reception.
That was a well-executed play all the way around. I guess that's a good way to term that one with 10 seconds left in the third period here at Upper Dublin High School. As the North gets up over the football. The handoff to Jeff Yackel. Yackel dropped at the line of scrimmage on a good defensive play for the South by Phil Mandato. So the third quarter ends here at Upper Dublin High School. Our score 28-14 in favor of the South. We'll be back with the fourth quarter in 60 seconds.
With the score, the South 29, 28. The North 14.
Not close to the 34-yard line on the return. And the South will have pretty good field position at their own 34-yard line.
See, that's a good punt return.
I'm sorry, Centrella on the return. Go ahead, George.
Centrella did a good job. He caught the ball. He was moving with the ball when he caught it. He kept going straight ahead. He didn't try to go to the sidelines. He picked up 10 or 12 yards. That's a good return.
So the South will have it on their own 34-yard line as we're underway with the fourth quarter. I want to remind you, tuned to 1440 WNPV in Lansdale. And they hand off inside, a couple of yards out to the 36-yard line. Put Jeff Gohan from Haverford High School in there at quarterback for the South squad.
Number 6.
The ball carrier was Roger Wright. Right out of McDevitt. Meller in on the stop for the North squad. 2nd and 8 for the South as Leith will split near side. And they hand off around the left side into the secondary. Good move. Breaks a tackle to midfield stripe. To the 45 to the 43-yard line. The ball carrier is Roger Wright. Roger out of McDevitt High School. All the way to the 43-yard line, the North 43-yard line, 1st and 10. Boy, are we seeing a lot of offense.
Let me tell you, he had some moves out there, that kid. He knew what he was doing.
Wow.
At the North 43-yard line.
Fans are getting their money's worth tonight, I'll tell you what.
A lot of good running backs out there tonight.
Both squads are blessed with good ones. Once again, Leith to the near side. In the slot left is Kevin Mobley. Now they shift. Over in the slot to the right goes Roger Wright. And they counter right up the middle. Inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. The ball carrier was Wade Gans out of Upper Moreland. And on the stop for the North was Jermaine Fisher. Jermaine out of Norristown High School. Gans picks up 6, 2nd and 4.
When you're in the fourth quarter like this, and you're ahead by 2 touchdowns, and you got runners like that, all you got to do is run the football.
Yeah, stay on the ground.
Stay on the ground, keep running out the clock.
The South leads this series, 16 wins and 10 losses. And the North hasn't won since 1987. There they hand off on the right side to Mobley. Mobley trying to turn that right corner. Gets away from one tackle, gets away from a second tackle, and they finally run him out of bounds on the far side of the football field, down around the 26, maybe the 27-yard line. Ooh.
I don't want to be critical of the defense, but here's what happens also. You don't hit that much in practice when you have only 8 days. And a lot of these kids are not wrapping their arms when they're hitting.
So the South with a great drive. That stops the clock with 11:45 left in the contest. Mobley comes in motion to the near side. Back to throw is Gohan. Looking for Leith, who's open at the 10, the 5, and he gets in the end zone. A 28-yard scoring strike
Jeff Cohen.
from Jeff Goen
Pass complete to number 13, Larry Leith.
to Leith. Goen to Leith.
That's a South.
And the
touchdown.
South puts more points on the board.
Going to Leith.
With 11:38 left in the fourth quarter, the South goes on top 34-14. Boy, and the fans who were looking for offense, as I said a little while ago, are certainly seeing it here tonight.
They're getting a little bit of everything.
Boy, they sure are. And in to try the extra point is Phil Mandato out of Kennedy Kenrick.
Phil Mandato, number 40.
The snap, the place, the kick is up. Boy, he's got plenty of distance. Is it good?
It is up.
Yes, it is.
And it is good.
35-14 in favor of the South. Back with a kickoff in 60 seconds. Don't forget, we got to pick them. Well, for the people who like offense, they picked the right location tonight, Upper Dublin High School. I don't know if the board here at Upper Dublin has seen that many points in quite a while. 35-14. Jeff Holliston tells me just on the visitor side. The kickoff to Yakel. Yakel looking for room, trying to turn that far corner. Gets a little bit of running room, gets out across the 30, out across the 35, still on his feet, midfield stripe, across the midfield stripe, into the South territory. Jeff Yakel with a great return, gives the North excellent field position.
They haven't quit.
Across midfield.
They're going to get the football, and they can still score a touchdown here. They're right back in the football game with 11:28 to go.
48-yard line.
So put it on the 48-yard line of the South. Boy, great return by Jeff Yakel. That's a Jeff Yakel we're used to seeing through the years that we've had the privilege of broadcasting North Penn football. 1st and 10 for Todd Moyer as he back into the ball game, replacing Brett Schumer. And Todd takes the snap, rolls right, throws on the run. Got his receiver O'Malley. O'Malley gets it inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. On the coverage for the South was John Convery out of Lower Moreland.
Complete to number 33, Ryan O'Malley.
But when you lead 35-14, you'll give up that 5 or 6 yard pass.
I think so. What the North has got to do is they got to score, and they have plenty of time to score. 10:41. They don't have to rush. They can take their time. They can mix it up pretty good.
So the North gets out over the football. 2nd and 5 on the South 43. Moyer takes a snap, rolls left, throws. Got his receiver who gives ground back to the 44 and then slips and falls at the 42-yard line. Just as he started to turn upfield,
Complete to number 3, David Tuggle.
If he wouldn't have slipped, he might have gone a little bit there.
David Tuggle, the receiver out of Norristown High School,
Gain of 1.
gain of a yard on the play, 3rd and 4.
Well,
10 minutes and counting. That's what's left in tonight's ball game.
I always had a football proverb: never run back, always run forward.
Yeah. So the blue-shirted North out over the football. Chris Henry, one of the running backs, along with Dave Tuggle, and Todd Moyer, the quarterback. And Todd setting his offensive backs. Todd takes a snap, fakes to Henry. Drops straight back, going to air it out down the far sidelines for Tuggle, and it's bouncing around, it's incomplete. Good defense downfield by Lee out of Abington High School.
Their secondary is basically playing center field. They're just staying back there waiting for the football to go up in the air, and they have so much quickness and so much speed. They're right there. Very difficult to throw a long pass against them.
I thought that was Tuggle as a receiver, and it wasn't. It's Kenny Mills as a receiver. And the North stops the clock with 9:27 left in the ball game as Todd Moyer brings him out over the football with 4th and 4. Backs are strong right. Moyer runs the option to the right side. Pitches back to Yakel. Yakel turns the corner. The 30, the 25, the 20. Inside the 15, 1st and 10 for the North. Now that was an option play that was really run well.
Perfectly run. Well executed. Yakel ran real hard. I think the defense there was sitting around waiting for a short pass. I'm going to kind of caught him off guard a little bit.
Yeah, that was a great option play. That's the way you should run the option. That was run perfect. Once again, that was mid-season, that one, wasn't it, George?
Yeah.
Put the football.
It's hard to get that kind of perfection in an all-star game.
Absolutely. 1st and 10 for the North, the ball resting on the south 14-yard line. As Todd Moyer has Henry and Jeff Yakel, the running backs. Upper Perk and North Penn respectively. Back to throw. Did Bussum come up with that catch?
I think he did, yes.
What a great reception by Keith Bussum. Woo.
Moyer's pass complete.
Does that give him a first down? First and
Keith Bussum.
is that a 1st and goal? Yes, it is. 1st and goal. Boy, what a great reception by Keith Bussum. He's made 2 like that tonight. I remember that one a little earlier.
Yeah.
That was that little slant pass. He went down about 6 yards and cut across.
Ball's on the 4-yard line.
1st and goal from the 4 for the North. Todd Moyer. Long count. Goes inside. Spinning, driving, still on his feet. Does he get in the end zone? Yes, he does. I want to see who the ball carrier is. Is that Kenny Mills or is it Tuggle? Is it David Tuggle?
That's David Tuggle.
David Tuggle out of Norristown.
And it's a North touchdown.
How about that?
All second effort. That's how he scored. He kept moving, kept the legs going. He scored on second effort only. Good little back from Norristown. He can't be more than 5'6", 5'7" at the most. Tough little kid. Now they're back in the ball game again.
35-20, and they'll go for 2. As Todd Moyer with the long count. The option to the right side. Pitching back to Kenny Mills, and Mills going to stop shy of the exit for the 2-point conversion. So it remains 35-20 in favor of the South. Back with a kickoff in 60 seconds.
Conversion attempt fails. Number 29, Jason Zabinski.
George, I'd have bet the house we wouldn't have seen 55 points tonight.
Usually an all-star game ends up being a defensive game because you don't have much time to work on the offense, but both teams are really playing good offensively.
And we've got a timeout on the field. There's some confusion with the South squad, so they're going to, well, they're going to take timeout or?
No, I think what they're doing is they're putting on their onside receiving team in case
of
what
they're doing. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the North will do. They might not kick it deep. They might try an onside kick, and I think that's what Steve Shine is doing now, the South.
They're going to get charged with a timeout.
Yeah.
So while there's timeout, 8:08 left in the ball game, 35-20 in favor of the South squad. Back with the kickoff in 30 seconds.
Rest break, I guess.
A reminder, please stay with us after the game for the awards presentation.
Yeah.
Short kickoff to the 46-yard line of the South. And let's wait for the officials. They say the South has come up.
I think the South has got it.
So they did try the onside kickoff.
every team usually has an on-sides receiving team. You put your kids out there with the best hands.
So the South will start from their own 46-yard line, 1st and 10.
At their own 46-yard line.
And it gives me an opportunity to say thank you to everybody that's been involved with the 27th Annual All-Star Football Game. Appreciate all the volunteer help as the South gets out over the football. Let's see if Jeff Gohan's in the ball game. Hand off around that right side. We've got a lot of new players in the ball game out across the midfield stripe to the north 46-yard line. The ball carrier with Don Sajic out of Kennedy Kenrick.
Number 35,
And I think we've got a new quarterback in the ball game. Let's see.
Pick up,
No, it's Fitzgerald out of Jenkintown. I might have to go to a second page here for scoring. Kenny Mills has gotten the end zone twice. I've been impressed with him for the North. I've always been impressed with Mark Washington from the South. The South off the right side. Gets a couple of yards. Might have got the first down.
I think he's got a first down.
As across the 45 down close to the 43.
number 35,
Sajic on the carry. Don out of Kennedy Kenrick. Those are the two schools that merged. Our good friend Chris Bockrath there at Kennedy Kenrick.
You know, Chris did an outstanding job this year at Kennedy Kenrick, especially after the problems they've been having there, closing down some of the Catholic schools. But Chris has always been a good football coach.
So the South out over the football. 1st and 10 on the north 43-yard line. As the South shifts strong to the left side. They come off the left side. Ball carrier is Roger Wright. Roger out of McDevitt High School, 190-pounder. Gets down inside the north 40, down close to the 38-yard line.
See, they're just running sweeps now to go to the outside and kind of run clock out. Get time off that clock. It's down to 6:13 now.
I'll remind you that we'll make every effort to get the two MVPs up here if we can to chat with them. We'll make an effort to do that if we can. George, we have another microphone hooked up. If we can, we'll get those young men up here. Second down play for the South. Off the right side to Matheson. Matheson, lots of running room into the secondary. Cross the 30, cross the 25 to the 23-yard line. And on the stop for the North is Keith Reynolds from North Penn High School. Put the football at the 22-yard line. 1st and 10.
That North defensive team now is going to keep their heads up and got to realize anything can happen. They can stop this team. A fumble could happen, a turnover, and they're back in the football game. There's still 5 minutes to go.
So put the football at the north 22-yard line, 1st and 10 for the South. As the gold-shirted South squad gets out over the football. Little bootleg. No, it isn't. Sajic inside the 10, inside the 5 to the 4-yard line, 1st and goal.
See what's going on now. The South offensive line is just blowing off the North defensive line. They're winning the war of the trenches.
Corey Dodon out of Bethacton High School saved a sure score. But it gives the South a 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. They've got about 8 running backs that I'd like to be coaching. All of them are good. 1st and goal from the 4 for the South squad. Sajic on the carrier. Stood up at the line of scrimmage and dropped it to 3.
That was good defensive play. See, there they hit him, and they wrapped their arms right away, and they stopped him.
And on the stop for the North squad was Mark Milkey out of Norristown High School on a stop. 2nd and goal for the South from the 3-yard line.
The ball at the 3.
As we slowly approach the 4-minute mark. That's what's left in the ball game here at Upper Dublin High School, Cardinal Stadium. Jeff Huddleston on with the field glasses. I don't see him do that when he's coaching basketball. 2nd and goal from the 3. In motion right goes Matheson. Long count. Now we got all kinds of movement up front. And let's see which way it's illegal procedure against the South.
I think they're taking a long count now to run down the clock.
South.
They're not in a hurry.
Penalty.
Oh.
So we'll try it all over again. The only difference is we'll move it back 5 yards to the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 8. As the South gets out over the football. And Fitzgerald directing traffic all over the place. Looked like a street cop out there for a while. But there's timeout on the football field. 3:37 left in the ball game. 35-20 in favor of the South. Back with more in 60 seconds. Back here, Cardinal Stadium on 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line. Back to throw, and the pass is broken up in the end zone by defensive back Wes Quinn. Brad Scioli in the offensive unit now for the South squad. You heard George talk about him. He's going out to Happy Valley, to Penn State. What an athlete that guy is. I saw him play basketball against Souderton. Woo! What an athlete.
What a program he's going to.
Yeah, that's exactly right. 3rd and 8 for the South. 3rd and goal, rather, from the 8-yard line. Sajek in motion to the right. Fitzgerald takes a snap, rolls right, sets, throws. Incomplete. So it'll bring up 4th and goal from the 8.
I'm surprised they're passing the ball.
I am too. That good running attack, and all of a sudden they go to the air.
Roger Wright, incomplete.
It's easy to call up here. Maybe that's why he shouldn't be up here. But I think I'd be running the ball, run out the clock. Who cares if you score or not?
What an offensive show tonight down here at Upper Dublin High School. 65 points on the board. 55 points, rather, on the board. 35-20. Whew. Mandato will try. Let's see. They're going to spot it where? The 15-yard line? 25-yard field goal.
The ball's on the 8.
So he's spotted on the 15.
Okay.
The kick, he's got the distance. Is it between the uprights? Yes, it is. Mandato with a 25-yard field goal kick. And the score goes to 38-20 in favor of the South. Back with a kickoff in 60 seconds. 5, spins away from tacklers, gives ground to the 23, gets back across the 25 to the 27. Kind of a strange kickoff return.
Yeah, I would have to say so, yes.
Did I cover that one well, George?
I think so. I'm lost for words in that kind of kickoff return.
Okay.
I would have other words to say to sidelines if that was one of my kids running the ball like that.
I'm sure Roger Grove might have had something to say about it, too. That was one of his young men out of Norristown, David Tuggle. I want to thank all the coaches who volunteered their services for the 27th annual All-Star Football Game, Montgomery County style. And Todd Moyer takes a snap, rolls right. Going to air it out downfield for Klein. Incomplete at the midfield stripe. He had him open. Just could not get under the football.
Yeah, he was open by 5 or 6 yards. I was very surprised at that because they're playing deep right now, these backs.
Isn't it amazing what good weather will bring out?
Yeah.
As I look at the stands tonight, we want to thank all the spectators for coming out tonight. Boy, they're going to go home saying, "Ooh, we saw a lot of points tonight in a high school football game."
They might see some more yet.
Yeah,
it's not over yet.
38-20 in favor of the South. North has the football, 2nd and 10 on their own 27-yard line. As Todd Moyer has twins to the right side. Back to throw. Trying to set a screen to Yackel, and very smartly Todd Moyer throws the football away. Yackel was double covered over here in the near sideline. Good coverage by the South.
That screen has not worked at all tonight for the North. I think South has done a real good job preparing for that.
They really have.
I think what might go right now is the old-fashioned draw play.
3rd and 10, good time.
But who am I to second-guess Drew Darrow, right?
Yeah, you've been trying to do that for a number of years, right?
And I lost more than I won.
You still have a great relationship with
Oh,
him.
yeah.
That's the great thing. Yeah. 3rd and 10 for the North. As Todd Moyer Hands under center. Takes a snap, rolls to the right, still rolling, throwing on the run. Got his receiver. Great reception by Kenny Mills. Out to the 36-yard line, 37-yard line. Kenny Mills, what a great game he's played today.
Complete to number 1, Ken Mills.
I'll tell you, they're putting a lot of pressure on this
Kenny
quarterback.
Mills has played a great game for the North, hasn't he? Made some great runs. He scored twice.
He's a good receiver. He's got a good pair of hands.
Good pair of hands. You know what Drew told me about him today? He said, Jim, have you seen him play? I said, no. He said, you're going to enjoy him tonight. Well, boy, Drew's a tremendous observer. Is that a good word?
Yes.
Tremendous
absolutely.
observer.
A tremendous observer of kids.
Talent. Oh, just a tremendous observer, Drew. Moyer back to throw. Nice pass. Receiver up at the 44-yard line. It's complete. I think it's Klein from Upper Perkiomen on the reception. Or is it Miller? No, Miller out of Hatboro Orchard.
Moyer's pass complete to number 25.
Boy, he floated that thing out there real nice, didn't he?
I'm telling you, that little number 3 is one heck of a hitter for the South.
The hit by number 3, Mitch Lee.
Is that Lee?
Yep. Mitch Lee out of
He's done a good job back there.
You take notice, he's probably got more stars on his helmet than anybody out there. Now we know why.
He likes to hit.
He likes to hit people.
And every coach likes a kid who likes to hit.
And see, they got him playing center field. They can roam back there. Moyer again on 2nd and 4 will go deep on the far sidelines. And if Bussum come, oh no, I was going to say if Bussum come down with that, that'd be incredible.
Moyer's pass
incomplete.
Intended for number 26, Keith Bussum.
3rd and 5.
Number 3, Mitch Lee defending.
I'll remind you, tuned to 1440 WNPV in Lansdale. We're happy to bring the ball game to you tonight, right here on 1440 AM. We'll swing into football season, Labor Day weekend. Boy, a lot of changes in football coming up.
Don't get me started on that.
Yeah, district playoffs and everything. Some teams won't play Thanksgiving Day.
Right.
Fans are going to like that.
That's going to be a hardship for me. A great Thanksgiving Day. Oh, boy.
Statue of Liberty to Henry really drilled.
Oh,
Henry really drilled at the 38-yard line, coughed up the football in the South on the recovery.
I think that was the old Statue of Liberty play and never got too far.
What a stick that was. And was that Scioli on that hit?
Number 65, C.J. Lee. South takes possession.
Yeah, remember that name, Scioli. He's going to Penn State. He's going to come out roaring like a lion. But what an offensive show put on tonight down here at Cardinal Stadium. The fans have really gotten their money's worth down here tonight. Unbelievable. 1st and 10 for the South. And back to throw at Jeff Gaillard, trying to set up a screen, gets away from the defender, and it goes incomplete to far sidelines.
I can't understand that play at all.
No, not leading 38-20.
When you're winning 38-20, 46 seconds go, let the kids run the football straight ahead.
And the way they've been running.
Yeah. He has some new backs in there. Let them run.
Yeah, it's kind of unbelievable. So it stops the clock.
And that's what you don't want to do.
With 46 seconds.
Unless he wants his kids to play a little bit longer.
Yeah.
They're still here.
Dan Sajik goes in motion to the right. Little draw play. Ball carrier goes nowhere. Might have got a yard. Now if the blue shirts were smart, they just got to take their time getting up off the ground. And that's what's going to happen. Chris Hartman leading the tacklers from Lansdale Catholic High School. No gain on the play. That'll bring up a 3rd down call. 3rd and 10. And let's see if the South will just let the clock
They might
run.
not even come out now. They might just let the clock run. Yeah, they are going to come out.
15 seconds and running. Okay, on counters with Sajik. Sajik off the right side, spins, drives inside the 30 to the 29, where he's dropped by Keith Bussum. So the game ends. And if you're a South... the South now leads the series 17 wins and 10 losses as they come up with an impressive.
I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Brown to introduce the most valuable players and our Special Olympians to make the presentation. Thank you. Let me start with the most valuable player for the North. Mr. Kent Bills, come forward, please. Kent Bills. Round of applause for Kent Bills. Mark, congratulations. Great game. Round of applause for Mr. Mark Washington. Okay, now if we could have the team captains from the South team, they come forward. We have Jason and Charlie Mills will present the trophy.
I was talking with Coach Derek. He said, Jim, you're going to see a fine athlete in Kenny Mills out of Pottsgrove High School.